You can see a large police presence, federal presence that is happening amid reports tonight of a shooting that involved federal agents. Here's what we know so far, and we're still learning more details right now. City officials tell CNN that they are working to confirm what they know as we've reached out to police for more information about what has exactly led to the scene that is playing out. We'll bring you those details and confirmations as soon as we have them. We did hear from the governor just in the last hour. Tim Walz slammed the Trump administration for this ongoing ICE operation that we've seen playing out in his state.
2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government.
Comments from the governor today as federal agents have been seen using aggressive tactics in recent days against residents and protesters as fallout has continued after the shooting death by an ICE agent of Renee Good last week. CNN's chief data analyst Harry Enten is here because, Harry, I do think there are some really interesting numbers that are coming out in terms of what we're seeing in the aftermath of this, of how Americans are feeling about what they're watching.
Yeah, I think there really are, Caitlin. And, you know, I should just start off by saying that Americans at this point do not like ICE. And that is very different from what we saw during Trump's first term. Just take a look here. ICE's net approval rating. In Trump's first term, ICE, you know, kind of lukewarm. You had them right there at a net approval rating of 0 points. Look at where we are today. We're talking about a negative 17-point approval rating. That is a 17-point drop from where we were during Trump's first term. Among independents, the number is even lower in terms of the net approval rating. And why is it that ICE is so unpopular at this point? Well, take a look at our new CNN SSRS poll, and I think this sort of gives the game away. ICE enforcement is making U.S. cities less safe. Look at this, 51%. 51% of Americans say that ICE enforcement in cities is making those cities less safe. That includes 59% of Americans who live in cities, compared to just 31% who say that, in fact, ICE enforcement is making U.S. cities more safe. So what we see here is Trump and ICE losing this argument over ICE going into cities, making them more safe. Now, of course, the ICE discussion is part of a larger argument, right? A larger discussion